Welcome everyone to another edition of Willow's Weather Briefing. Today is Saturday, May 31st, 2025. Today, we have a slight risk of severe weather from southern Kansas into Oklahoma. We also have a slight risk of excessive rainfall over the Northeast, particularly around Vermont, New Hampshire, upstate New York. And we also have air quality concerns over the northern Midwest into the northern Great Lakes region associated with the ongoing, pretty prolific looking Canadian wildfires. We also have heat continuing for much of the West, and also we have much below average temperatures continuing for much of the eastern United States. Here's a current look at satellite imagery. You can see a pretty prolific low-level extratropical cyclone spinning, moving up the east coast, bringing our rainfall threats into these areas over here near New England. But other than that, fairly quiet across the United States today, but that will change as we get to the mid-afternoon regions where we should see some convection pop up into the central plains. I do want to have you guys see something real quick. Just take a look at our red wavelength visible satellite imagery here. You can see this swath of smoke making its way from Canada into much of the heartland of the United States, all the way down to states like Alabama, seeing that wildfire smoke all the way from central Canada. So that is pretty impressive. So yesterday we actually got upgraded to an enhanced risk across these portions of the mid-Atlantic regions, primarily for wind, and as you can see why, there has been a lot of dense areas of wind reports, sub-significant, but still a wide range of wind reports as well. We also had some flooding reports around Maryland and Virginia, those areas, and also some flooding reports over here, Blue Ridge Mountains in West Virginia. Here is a look at our drought map. The solid lines demarcate the areas of most concerning drought. Here's our current watches and warnings. You can see those air quality alerts here in Minnesota and the upper to central Great Lakes region associated with that wildfire smoke. Main story of today isn't going to be until the afternoon where we see some severe weather down here and possibly some flash flood warnings over here in the New England region. We also have a swath of heat advisories, extreme heat warnings, and such because of this gigantic ridge that's building over the western United States right now. So here's our surface chart here. Currently, we have that low pressure system making its way north. We also have a reinforcing cold front that's making its way south over here. We have some severe weather over here in the central U.S. associated with a surface trough and surface disturbance making its way over into that region. Generally, fairly quiet weather for most of the United States. We do expect some scattered rainfall over here in the southwest, some rainfall over here in the northwest, but obviously the most concerning amount of rainfall will be in these regions in New England. Tomorrow, more generally disturbed weather across the United States, scattered rain and thunderstorms throughout the Intermountain West, also portions of the southwestern United States. We do have a localized severe thunderstorm risk here in east central Texas, but this low pressure system is moving off to the northeast, which should bring some quieter weather to much of New England tomorrow. Finally, on Monday, we do have a severe thunderstorm risk here from southeastern South Dakota all the way to northeastern Colorado, associated with this reinvigorated low pressure system off the Rockies. And co-located with that is a heavy rain and flash flooding threat. Here is our excessive rainfall outlook. Currently, we have a slight risk over areas of Vermont. We could see rainfall up to 2.5 inches around this region. Rainfall is already ongoing, and that will continue until mid-afternoon, where we will see a little bit of a decrease in rainfall over there. Also, a small marginal risk associated with those convective cores. Marginal risk here in southern Arizona, possibly associated with our tropical disturbance down here making its way towards Baja California into the Gulf of California. And day 3, we also have a slight risk over here from southeastern South Dakota all the way to northeastern Colorado, co-located with those convective cores that may drop large rainfall rates in a short amount of time. We're on marginal risk of significant rainfall associated with another upper level disturbance that's going to make its way, create an extratropical cyclone, and make its way to the east. Similar story on day 5. Same system is going to cause a broad region of rainy weather for much of the heartland of the United States. Here's our day 1 fire weather outlook. Elevated fire weather risk for eastern Washington down into southeastern Oregon into northwestern Nevada. That fire risk will continue for areas of northwestern Nevada tomorrow. There is no extended range fire weather look this period. Here is our convective outlook here. Slight risk for portions of southern Kansas into Oklahoma. This is mainly for a damaging wind and large hail risk. No significant risk is expected, at least yet, and a small 2% tornado risk for these areas. This includes cities such as Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Wichita, and Wichita Falls. Our day 2 convective outlook, small slight risk here in east central Texas. This includes cities such as Waco, Killeen, and College Station. This is associated with mainly a large hail risk. Your wind and tornado risks are pretty low. We also have sporadic marginal risks here in southeastern Montana and also in North Carolina. Day 3 outlook Monday, we have a slight risk of severe weather in portions of eastern South Dakota into northeast Colorado. This includes cities such as North Platte, Watertown, and Sterling, Colorado. This is primarily for a damaging wind and large hail threat as well. The tornado threat seems a bit lower for this. But on day 4, we have a pretty expansive yet narrow risk of severe weather from all the way from southern Wisconsin to north central Texas. This includes cities like Oklahoma City, Kansas City, Madison, Wisconsin, all the way down to Wichita Falls, Texas. Also includes cities such as Springfield, Missouri, and Davenport, Iowa. Main threat, we're kind of looking at all hazards. The hazards will modulate up and down the severe weather risk, and we're not really sure exactly what's going to happen for this risk, so we'll definitely update you all when the risk gets a bit closer. Here is our heat risk. Today, our main heat is located over here in the western United States. This is the second day of a pretty short heat wave in the west. Temperatures are reaching around 100 degrees for the vast majority of this region. Higher temperatures are focused over here in the southern basins, especially with lower elevations, with temps reaching to the mid-high hundreds all the way up to 110 plus degrees in areas such as Death Valley. That heat will subside pretty quickly by tomorrow and then move its way east a little bit. We're expecting above average temperatures for much of the Midwest to the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes region, and also a return to heat for the Gulf Coast by mid to late week. Here's our extended range hazards. We have 2 areas of particular concern when it comes to severe weather over here in the uh, Great Plains and also into the central to southern plains over here. We also have expansive areas of heavy rainfall expected and also hazardous heat expected to come back to areas of southern Texas. Here's our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, June 5th through 9th. We have near normal temperatures for much of the central United States, above average temperatures for the west and the eastern United States, especially areas of New England. Expect much above average temperatures over there. Here's our 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook, above average precipitation for much of the United States, except the west, which will have below average precipitation across portions of the northwest. Here is HREF output. We're going to take a look at our timing for our severe thunderstorms today. Storms should fire around south central Kansas, possibly around 19Z, which is about 2 p.m. But expect most storms to start at around 2 to 3 p.m. today and make their way southward towards the I-40 corridor in Oklahoma, possibly around 1 to 2Z. That's about 6 to 7 p.m. You should expect those storms to arrive in areas of central Oklahoma. Storm mode, we expect the storm mode to be probably semi-discrete. It looks like these returns are sort of marking that, but the kinematic profiles and thermodynamic profiles aren't robust enough to consider a more significant severe weather threat. Do expect possibly semi-discrete to linear storm mode, especially linear storm mode by the evening hours, which will increase your damaging wind threat and decrease your hail threat. So that is going to be it for today's weather briefing. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. If you have any constructive criticisms, please leave them in the comments below. And if you want any specific information regarding your area, please refer to your local National Weather Service or broadcast meteorologists. Thank you and have a great day.